So after 50,000 miles, I finally decided to change my Model Y Hepa filter before I... Alright, now that we're past this whole situation with the tires, let's get started with the video. Before we start, I want to go ahead and remove this giant plastic piece. This is being held up by a couple of clips on each side of the board. This is just a pry open kind of procedure. There's no screws, and don't be afraid, you're not going to break anything as it's all just plastic clips. I also want to quickly point out that this area right here tends to get really wet whenever you have a Model Y or a Model 3. This is a faulty situation with Tesla, and it causes really bad smells inside the cabin. If you have water dripping in this area, make sure that you glue or put some type of coverant or sealer to make sure that this does not happen again. I also added weather stripping all over the car, as you guys have seen in previous videos, and I think this also helps prevent moisture coming into the cabin. As you can tell from the pictures here, it could get really bad for you. Weather stripping to the Tesla is such a good and cheap solution to protect it from not only weather but also the elements such as leaves and dirt that might get stored into this drainer, and that way you don't cause any massive water damage in your car. And just like every other car, Teslas do come with a left and a right drain area, so make sure you check both of them and inspect them and clean them if there's any drain. And for those of you guys wondering, this is just excess water from me opening the hood and the excess water falling from the hood into the front. All right, removing the HEPA filter is super easy. It's this giant piece of plastic that you see right here. You only have two screws, one on each side, one on the left and one on the right. They are super easy to remove and they're unique screws, so you won't get confused when you're putting everything back up. Removing the HEPA filter is not difficult. Once you remove the two screws, all you have to do is press up to the back and up again, if that makes any sense. Shown as the graph over here, this is the way Tesla also suggests for you to do it. You just wiggle your way around. There's nothing that you're going to damage, but just be careful as always. You don't usually see this area quite as often as the rest of the cars, so be sure that you clean this whole area because you probably won't be opening this in the next couple of months. So make sure that everything's clean, make sure that everything's in order. There are no leaves, no rats, or no dead animals in there. Moving on to the HEPA filter itself, and we can tell right away that it's extremely dirty. This is because I never look into this part, so it is good that we're using this today. There are 10 screws that you must remove before opening the HEPA filter. Remember, these are plastic on plastic with metal screws, so just be gentle. A lot of these plastics could easily break. Removing the top cover reveals 4 different pieces of filters. There are 2 on each side. Don't worry, the gray area of filter is just the way it is. There are some that are white, there are some that are gray. It's not dirt, it's just the way they are. I did notice some dirt and some little leaves inside the filters, which is odd because these are completely shut off. So I don't know how this happened, but it's happened nonetheless, and I gotta clean it now. The filters themselves are extremely well cleaned. I don't find myself using biohazard quite as much as I potentially could, so these are not quite as dirty. I do plan on using it a lot more just to test out the lifespan of each filter. As of right now, I don't feel like I need to change the filters. I think they are clean, they don't smell bad, there's no actual dirt, and here are the specifications in case you are wanting to buy those. You can also scroll down to my video description, as I will note every single tool that I used, as well as the description and item number for each filter, as well as any other information that you might need for this replacement of the HEPA filter. So now that I've done a inspection on the filters and everything seems to be just perfect, I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much work my way back into the car. But there is a little hack. These cars are notorious for smelling bad, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some Downy towels. I've done this on every single car that I've had, and it does dramatically change the smell on your car for the first couple of months. After that, you may have to do this again, but don't know if it works on you guys. Don't know if this is something that you should be doing. I've always done it, and the car doesn't change. There's no check engine lights anywhere or anything. It doesn't clog the ventilation for the car, but it does help with the smell. So because Teslas are notorious for this, I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. Working my way back, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick cleanup, and then I'm gonna make sure that I install all those 10 screws back in their place. Again, not too much effort, just use common sense. This is plastic on plastic and plastic breaks. Once we are done making sure that everything is sealed properly, we're gonna go ahead and clean the exterior area just a tiny bit. You're never gonna see this part again, or at least you won't see it for the next couple of months, so just take your time to clean it up and then you can move on. Just quickly on that note, there is a white portion that's plastic. That plastic is a lip, so make sure that you clean under and in between the lip area, as I did find some dirt storage right in between. Next, we're gonna take this back to the car and we're gonna work the same exact way backwards, just pretty much down sliding it and then down putting pressure. This part was not difficult, but it just took some time to wiggle it in place to make sure that it didn't damage any type of plastics in the car themselves. So once you do it, it's super easy to do it, and you won't break anything. So don't be afraid of doing it. Don't forget that there are two screws that goes one into the left side, one into the right side. These are attached directly into the car frame, so make sure you put those. And lastly, you're gonna put back your cover. Make sure that every clip slides into its place. There's like a million different clips, so just make sure you give it a quick punch to each side to make sure that each clip is in its correct place and not just dangling around, causing noises and stupid rattles. Right before finishing, always make sure that you clean the area that you're working. Make sure that there's no lingering tools around. It's happened to me before, so you don't want any of that stuff falling into the body of the car. With that being said, this was a super easy job to do. It only took about 10 minutes. It's something that your car needs and must get every once in a while. But with that being said, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.